What's up everybody, welcome to the latest Battleforge video. I'm Adam Glover. Today we've got a new segment. It's time to rate some coffee. So I figured, I drink a lot of coffee, right? One of my favourite things to do. Everyone seems to love coffee these days. How can I bring you something that'll be helpful? There are loads of little coffee companies starting up out there. What better way to do this than to pick a few, put them against each other and see who comes out on top. Awesome Supplements Coffee, Opus Coffee Company. We've got to have some ground rules, right? Category number 1, branding, packaging. Category number 2, bean origin and roast, ground versus bean. Category number 3, taste, obviously the most important thing. Category number 4, price. And finally, category number 5, the USP, the unique selling point, what makes it different from every other bean out there. They'll all be brewed in an AeroPress using a Baratza Encore grinder, if I can grind them all, at setting 12, as the instructions suggest. I should be grinding for AeroPress on. And they'll all be taken black, no milk, no sugar, so we can truly taste what the best coffee is. So with all that being said, let's make some damn coffee. So, let's get down to the brass tacks. The first category, branding and packaging. For me, Opus wins this one. I think that Opus Coffee have done a really good job in branding their product quite well, and it looks really good. Awesome, their coffee sits with what they're doing with their brand. It's all the same sort of lettering and such like that. I think it'd look better if it was in white, the package, because I think it would then go across their whole brand. Everything in their brand is white, and I think it would sit the same and then look a lot better, a lot crisper, a lot cleaner. 1 point for Opus. Next, we are going with bean ground origin of said coffee. Awesome is a blend, and this blend comes from Colombia, Costa Rica, Peru, Guatemala and Brazil. So all of South American countries, and it's very balanced across the board. Not too dark a roast where that bitterness exists. Whereas Opus, this is the Colombian. So it's single origin, and it then denotes itself to having its own flavour profile, as in that is specifically to that region, to that area, the type of beans. So again, for me, because I'm trying to build my expertise in this area, the winner for this, for another point, is Opus, because I'm trying to build what my understanding of coffee is. That's not to say that Awesome isn't really good with its blend across the board, but for me to try and understand coffee and trying to get better, this has like a sweet overtone with a chocolatey finish. The smell of it is very sweet as well, and you can see that the beans are quite light in their roast. That gives you a much more fruity flavour profile, so you can taste a lot more of the fruits and the different levels of the layers, rather than a much darker roast which is very bam in your face coffee flavour. So that for me, that's another point for Opus. So at the moment, Opus are 2-0 up. So the next thing we're going to talk about is taste, arguably the most important. It all comes down to taste, doesn't it? So this is Awesome. It's very balanced. It's very spread evenly. It's nice. It's not over the top. It's not too in your face. It's smooth. It's a medium blend. I'd happily drink that every day. It's just started snowing here, and I say just, it's been snowing all morning, and it's like incredibly heavy. But here we go, Opus. You can tell that with Opus, it's a single origin, as in you can tell the flavour profile, you can taste the sweetness as it builds, and it's a lot more fruity in nature, whereas this is a lot more balanced. For me here, Awesome win. And the reason why they win is because for me, this is an everyday coffee. This is a boom, get a nice balanced flavour profile down your grid. Whereas Opus, if I've got more time and I want to chill out and I want to really sit back and just think about the flavours I'm drinking, that's where that sphere lies in for me. But for this, I'd say Awesome wins this one. On a quick caveat, I completely forgot to mention this. Awesome only comes in pre-ground. The grind is medium fine. That type of grind only works in a AeroPress or a French press cafetiere. It's not coarse enough for a pour over method. Things like a Chemex 360 brewer or a drip coffee filter. If the grind is too fine, the water will pass through it too quickly and you'll get an under-extracted brew and it won't taste nice. Well, it'll taste watery. Okay, so that's a downside. Whereas Opus, they come in two different origins, the Colombian and the Brazilian, and you can get them in ground or bean. I always choose to go for bean because I like to grind my own beans. I've got the Baratza Encore downstairs. It's a really good grinder and I enjoy using it because it gives me the adjustability to choose which grind setting I want. But that's why I always go bean, because I can choose the grind and decide what type of brew I want. If I've got more time, I can do for Chemex, have a coarser grind and spend my time with a Chemex and pour over and be happy. If I want to get on with it, a nice finer grind, AeroPress for me is my quick go-to. Easy, no fuss, no problem. Awesome, for me, wins the taste as an everyday coffee drinkable. I'm not saying Opus isn't, but for me, this is what wins the taste. Small batch coffee makers tend to have varying prices and stuff like that, different price points. Now you can go and pick up a bag of Starbucks, Verona or House Blend for like £3.50. But if you want something that's a bit more personal and a bit more artisan, if that's what you want to call it, going for small batch coffee makers is probably a good way to go. So Awesome Supplements, 250 gram bag is £7 and then postage on top of that, which is about £2-3 quid. Opus is £10 and then postage on top of that, which is about £2-3 quid. Based on that and nothing else, Awesome win because of their price. Oh, love coffee. Love coffee. Okay, and then the final category, uniqueness. I don't even know that's a word, but hey, we're running with it. Opus Coffee, made by the Lean Machines and Zach George. They made it during lockdown last year. We're still in lockdown. Still going. So this is more of like a performance coffee, pre-workout, CrossFit orientated, geared towards that kind of USP niche market. So that's their unique selling point. Made by CrossFitters for CrossFitters. Awesome Supplements. The uniqueness of this brand, for what I believe sets them apart from other brands, is their eco-friendly nature. Now, we all know about fossil fuels and greenhouse gases and global warming. For every product you buy from Awesome Supplements, every pouch sold, they will plant a tree to improve oxygenation. The tree's been planted in my name. The tree of Adam, let's call it that. It's also a 100% recyclable bag once you've washed it out of all the coffee that's inside. Most coffee companies, including Opus here, will make their bags lined in foil for freshness. The problem with that is it is then no longer recyclable, whereas this is now 100% recyclable. So their uniqueness is that they are overly aware of their eco footprint, that they are actively trying to save the planet. So for that reason, Awesome win this one. Quick little footnote, they both taste great. They're both great coffees and I will probably be buying them again because they're really nice and I really do like them. Obviously you know how much I like coffee and how much I'm trying to get into it. If you've seen anything I'm doing that's off the scale and completely mental, let me know, because if I'm doing something wrong I want to learn and I want you guys to help me learn. So hopefully you can. But they're both great tasting coffees. But if you've done your maths, in the first ever Battle of the Beans, the winner is Awesome Coffee. 3 points to 2. Close one, close fought one, but this is my winner. And that brings to the end the first Battle of the Beans. Tell me in the comments below, or on Instagram, or on Facebook, or on Twitter, what coffees you want to see me buy next. And I will do more Battle of the Beans. Is this a section, a bit, a segment, a little side hustle, if you may? Is this what you want to see? So let me know what coffees you want me to review in a Battle of the Beans, and maybe one day we'll have a champions battle to see who is the best. Thanks so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you all watching as long as you have. Do all of the good stuff, like the video, subscribe to the channel if that's what you want to see, and I will see you in the next